Imagine a cold New York night where the city lights glow on the empty streets and millions of people sleep, unaware that in a small apartment on the fifth floor of an old brick building, a young man named Z is sitting alone at his kitchen table with his head buried in his hands, staring at the glowing screen of his phone that displays a shocking message. Bank balance, $14.21. In that moment, a wave of panic spreads through his chest, not just because the number is low, but because this low balance notification feels like a mirror that reflects months and months of careless spending, poor planning, and emotional decisions that have brought him to this point of desperation. Only a few hours ago, he was laughing with friends at a restaurant, enjoying dinner like everything was perfectly fine, spending money as if it were unlimited, joking as if tomorrow would sort itself out. But now, in the stillness of the night, when the laughter is gone and only silence remains, he faces the truth that the rent is due in 2 days, his car tank is almost empty, his credit card bill is late, his fridge only has leftover slices of bread, and he doesn't even have enough to buy gas for the next morning. The realization crashes into him. If he doesn't change today, right now, he will never escape this cycle of financial chaos, stress, and disappointment. And this moment becomes the turning point where budgeting stops looking like a boring concept and transforms into a lifeline, a survival strategy, a rescue rope thrown at him when he's drowning. Z, just 27 years old, is like millions of Americans who work hard, dream big, push through life with passion, but fail in one simple area that determines their entire future: managing money. He works at a logistics company in Atlanta, making $4,200 a month, which isn't a fortune, but definitely enough to live a stable life if only he knew how to handle it. But the problem is not his income. It's his habits. Every month, without fail, he ends up with nothing. Zero. Sometimes even negative. Why? Because he never tracks anything. His life is a series of spontaneous expenses. Starbucks every morning, Uber Eats deliveries at night, random Amazon purchases during lunch break, small impulsive buys that seem harmless individually but turn into financial disasters collectively. He swipes his credit card like it's free money, forgetting that the bill always comes. But that night, as he stares at $14.21, something shifts in his mind. He makes a promise to himself. I will never be broke again because of my own habits. The next morning, he walks into the living room, picks up an old notebook, and starts writing down his expenses. He creates simple categories: rent, groceries, utilities, transport, phone bill, insurance. Then he writes a new rule for himself: no purchase above $50 unless absolutely necessary. This becomes his first commitment, his first step toward discipline. The new rule is painful at first. He wants to buy new shoes, but they cost $89. He wants to eat out with his coworkers, but the meals exceed the $50 rule. Every time he feels the urge to buy something unnecessary, he asks himself, will this matter 30 days from now? Most of the time, the answer is no. And slowly, though painfully, he begins to say no to the things that drain his account. By the end of the first month, something unbelievable happens. Z saves $312. For the first time in years, he has money left after paying bills. That tiny victory lights a fire inside him. The feeling of winning, after years of losing, becomes addictive. He wants more. The next step is harder. One day, Z reviews his bank statement and is shocked to see a long list of subscription deductions: Apple Storage, Spotify, Netflix, Google One, a gym subscription he never uses, and an app he subscribed to months ago and forgot about. Altogether, $76 drains from his account every month without him even noticing. He cancels everything unnecessary, keeping only the one he genuinely uses. This becomes his second big lesson. Most Americans are not broke, they are leaking money silently. Motivated by progress, Z upgrades to a new budgeting system known as the 70-20-10 rule. He divides his income like this: 70% for needs, rent, groceries, bills; 20% for financial growth, savings and investments; 10% for guilt-free fun, movies, food, and experiences. Suddenly, budgeting feels simple, realistic, and sustainable, instead of limiting. After 6 months, his financial report card changes dramatically. His credit card balance is paid down significantly. He has $1,500 in his emergency fund. His stress levels drop, and his confidence skyrockets because he finally feels in control of his life. But life has a way of rewarding discipline. With his new habits, Z becomes more focused at work, more organized, and more reliable. His boss notices his improved performance, his punctuality, and his decision-making skills. These new habits reflect not just on his budget, but his entire personality. One day, out of the blue, he receives a job offer from a larger company in Dallas. Better salary, better environment, better opportunities. It's the first time in his life that his discipline literally transforms his future. Good habits attract good opportunities. 1 year after the night when he sat with $14.21 in his account, Z is no longer the same person. His bank balance now shows $7,840. His debts have almost vanished. He saves 25% of his income every month. He sleeps peacefully, no longer afraid of bills, emergencies, or unexpected expenses. Best of all, he finally feels confident enough to plan something he once thought impossible: buying his first home. His transformation becomes a message not just for him, but for everyone who watches his story. Budgeting is not about limiting your life, it is about freeing your life from stress, chaos, and fear. It is about taking control. It is about building a future where every dollar you earn has a purpose instead of disappearing without meaning. The truth is simple. Every dollar you track strengthens your future. Every dollar you waste strengthens your problems. Most people don't lack money. They lack a plan. They don't track their spending. They don't prioritize. They don't distinguish between wants and needs. They live paycheck to paycheck, not because they want to, but because they don't know how to escape the cycle. But Z's story proves that escape is possible. Change is possible. Transformation is possible. All it takes is one decision, one commitment, one moment when you say enough. Budgeting is the tool that gives you power. Power to save, power to invest, power to say no, power to prepare, and power to build the life you dream about. So if you're listening to this, remember, your story can change the moment you decide to change your habits. You don't need to be rich to start budgeting. You become richer because you start budgeting. And just like Z, the moment you take control of your money is the moment you take control of your life.